excited for that. Also, in the sense that it's most like the grittiest thing Sucker Punch has done.
Yeah, I think it's probably good that it's not soon, because I think it might be too close to Sekiro.
Yeah.
And a bunch of other like samurai-like games.
Oh, this is like a Dark Souls like.
Yeah, so I think giving it some space. What are you laughing at?
I was jokingly saying you were comparing it to a Dark Souls game. Anyway,
Jokes have to be funny.
I beg to differ.
Tell the pumpkin joke.
No, I'm not telling a pumpkin joke. Yeah, this looks good though. This is like the only mission we've seen. Starts off a little bit of stealth, but then fights off these dudes.
Yeah.
Again, it'll be interesting to see how Sucker Punch tackles it after sitting in the chair watching it from afar. Do you guys have to go?
No,
You might have been going too, actually.
Yeah,
outside
we
of
were
Toshima,
pre-show,
you mentioned Last of Us.
post-show
Part
Oh, we did tech
2.
rehearsal at the time. Pause.
Oh,
Remember,
yeah,
they kept trying to ask us things,
When
and we
did-
were like,
The
news is happening.
When to bring that out? I'm
No.
excited for
No,
that.
everyone
Also,
kind
in
of
the sense
assumes
that
everyone assumes
most
it's 2019,
like
or
the
at least
grittiest
they
thing
were.
Sucker Punch has
I-
done.
Yeah, I
assume-
reckon
probably
PlayStation
good that
experience
it's not
will get released
soon.
because I think it might
Better
be
not be
too
Paris
close to
games.
What else would they
Sekiro.
talk about
Yeah.
there?
And a
Oh, Lord,
bunch
please
of other
don't
like
do Paris games.
samurai-like games.
Oh, this is like a Dark Souls like.
Yeah, so I think giving it some space. What are you laughing at?
I was jokingly saying you were comparing it to a Dark Souls game. Anyway,
Jokes have to be funny.
I beg to differ.
Tell the pumpkin joke.
No, I'm not telling a pumpkin joke. Yeah, this looks good though. This is like the only mission we've seen. Starts off a little bit of stealth, but then fights off these dudes.
Yeah.
Again, it'll be interesting to see how Sucker Punch
They've done a bunch of
tackles
Last of Us
it after
stuff
Infamous
at
was super
Paris Games
comic
Week. Like
book,
last year was when they had that
Yeah.
hyper
the
violent,
mega
goofy
violent
way.
gameplay
Trailer.
reveal
Outside of Ghost
trailer.
of Tsushima, Pete
I wouldn't
mentioned
be
Last of Us
surprised if
Part
I reckon
2.
not Paris Games Week,
Part
PlayStation
dos.
Experience is going to
When
be Sony's E3 this year.
Have they?
They'll
have
have
they
a
said
release
when
date
to bring
for
that out?
Last of Us,
No,
Are
everyone
we
kind
and
of
then I think
assumes
they
it's
might
everyone
have
assumes
something
it's
more
2019, or
significant
at
than
least they
tech
were.
specs for PlayStation 5.
I
You would
I
hope
reckon
so.
PlayStation
I would hope so,
Experience
yeah.
will get
If
released
not,
there.
when PlayStation Experience
Oh,
is at this
better
point.
not be Paris
Uh,
Games.
what else
so
would they talk
it's
about
actually
there?
gonna
Oh
be
Lord, please
I
don't.
don't think they
Paris
have.
Games have, but
they've
there
done a
wasn't
bunch
one
of-
last year.
Right.
They've done a
exactly.
bunch
So
of
it's-
Last
They
of Us
didn't
stuff have anything. at
Yeah, I think it just
Paris
makes
Games
sense
Week. Like
for
last
it
year
to
was
be
when they
this
had
year,
that
if only
the
to
mega
clear the
violent
table of all these
gameplay
trailers,
reveal
stuff that they want to
trailer.
get out of the way. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised
Ghost
if
of
I
Tsushima,
reckon
which
not Paris
maybe
Games
next
Week,
gen,
PlayStation Experience is going to
that could
be
maybe
Sony's
stay out, but like
E3
for
this year.
certainly for Last
They'll
of Us, I
have a
reckon they
release
wanna
date for
get
Last
ahead
of
of
Us,
that
and kind of,
and then I think
because
they
right now
might have
PlayStation 4 is
something
kind
more
of significant
significant
than tech specs.
It's
for
just like
PlayStation 5
fine with
with
would hope so.
third-party
I would
games.
hope
There's
so,
nothing
yeah. If
major.
not, when PlayStation Experience is at this point.
They
I don't.
announced that it's actually going to be one.
I don't think
Yeah,
they
I'm not sure that-
have, but there wasn't one last year,
Right. Exactly.
so it
Because they
just
didn't have anything.
yeah, I think it just makes sense for it to be this year, if only to clear the table of all the existing stuff that they want to get out of the way. Stuff
Yeah.
like Ghost of Tsushima, which maybe next gen, that could maybe stay out, but like certainly for Last of Us, I reckon they want to get ahead of that and kind of, because right now PlayStation 4 is kind of coasting, right? It's just like fine with third-party games. There's
Yeah.
nothing major first-party on the horizon that we know has a definite release date. I'm probably forgetting some game.
Death Stranding.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
for
Death
one.
Stranding is the one, I guess. But like they've got more in development that they could be
Yeah.
giving us a date for, and that seems like the best place to do it, where they can own the message. I don't think their weird Nintendo Direct things are kind of hitting the way that they want them to. They're usually like 2 minutes or something like that.
I mean, like the first one could have been a lot better, but they did good by following up with both Death Stranding and Final Fantasy VII, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Last
I guess
two.
so.
That
What was the first? What did they show at the first one?
It was mostly VR. They
VR
had Iron
stuff,
Man
yeah.
VR, which really isn't anything. I mean, I don't know. I played a little bit of it and it's good, but it's really not all that special. So to lead with that to open up your new series,
Yeah.
I don't know. It didn't work.
Yeah, it'll be weird. So I reckon, yeah, PlayStation Experience, some sort of big event where they kind of give the PlayStation 4 a bit of a send-off while also announcing.
While also asking you to please
Yeah.
keep buying it
Please keep buying.
until holiday 2020
Yeah.
or whenever they're going to do PS5.
The Last of Us Part 2 is so weird for me because, although in theory I'm excited for it, The Last of Us, it was one of those games where I didn't need a sequel, and I don't think I've ever really gotten excited for Part 2. I'm sure once it's about to come out, I'll play it,
Yeah.
hopefully like it. But I don't know, every time I think about it, I'd have to kind of force myself
But
to...
you're a huge Naughty Dog fan. You're not.
Yeah.
You don't have any sense of just.
Yeah, I am, but
giving
like...
it the
10
benefit
out of
the
10.
doubt.
Uncharted
Well, yeah,
4.
yeah, but I wasn't really like excited for Uncharted 4, and then I
Yeah,
played it. I was
so
like, oh,
you feel-
like I said, it's nothing to say of Part 2's quality. I played all of Part 2 already behind closed doors.
Shut up.
No, I haven't. Wait, well, while we're here talking about Sony, you mentioned Death Stranding. We saw a lot more of that super weird game recently.
Yep.
You two
Hang on, we've
Kojima,
got the Kojima
superstars.
couch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me about it. Okay, be honest. Do you know what Kojima means when he says, "Oh, it's a social strand game"?
No.
Yes.
What does he mean?
It's more of a feeling. I can't explain it. It's like you just have to know. When you're a Kojima fan and you played enough Metal Gear, you just feel it in your bones.
Do you, this is kind of an unfair question. Do you think that now that he's just got free reign to do whatever, that'll help the game in a good way, or could that potentially be like too limitless?
I don't think he's got
It's a
complete
dumb
freedom
question, I
to
know.
do
I would
things
rather.
his own way.
So look, this is his first opportunity to do exactly what he wants. I would love to see what he's been waiting to do, if that is indeed what Death Stranding is. Like,
Yeah.
why not just let him go all out? If that's happening, I think that's cool.
There's
I mean,
no
he
way
has on the
he's got-
cast.
Right.
With regards to the gameplay, that remains to be seen in the story, but you can tell he's been eking towards using more and more celebrities in his games. I was specifically, Kiefer
We
Sutherland.
get it. You have cool friends, Kojima. Well, minus Nicholas Winding Refn.
I mean, like, I don't think he's as unbridled as people think he is. Like, that game is funded in part by Sony,
Oh yeah.
right?
Oh,
So,
yeah.
like, that doesn't mean he's got free reign to do what they want, whatever he wants. They'll be.
Oh, I
stepping in.
don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. I reckon Sony will be like, relax. I think like Sony has the power that Konami wish it could have had to exert over Kojima, but he was Konami. He was everything. So now that he's gone, he has the space to make more of what he wants, which means not Metal Gear.
I wouldn't be surprised if they put him on a rough timeline.
Yeah.
I don't know if creatively they're like looking over his shoulder and being like, okay, that's too much.
I mean, like, the nonsense concepts that he comes up with, I'm sure he's had, like, hundreds of them over the last few years of development, and they've had to at least knock out a few of them. He's got social strand gaming out there.
I'm not saying that like every single thing he's coming up with ends up there. I'm sure he also has his own reflection and things are not fit. But there's got to be frivolous stuff that's in there just because he's like, why the hell not?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, that's what makes a Kojima game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, but do you think, like, I guess, well, you already kind of touched on it, but I don't know. I wonder if it's going to be one of those things without an editor, unless what you say is happening, and there is someone looking over his shoulder, which I agree with Pete, I don't think is the case. I wonder if there is nobody. I'd like to see him be untethered, give him no bounds. Just curious, as a Dennis joke.
I mean, he has done that before, and it's always resulted in games that are interesting, though not exactly exceptional. Stuff like, Boktai and various other games.
But we don't know what those came from, right? Like those could have been like mandates of his employment for all we know.
Yeah.
Those are very different from what we know him for, right? In general, in terms of something really great is happening over there. I don't know. I'm willing to let him just do what he wants to do.
His
See what that looks
thing.
like.
Let Joaquin Mogren make whatever he wants. That's what I'm saying.
Norman Reedus. I was hearing someone say Norman Reedus.
Norman
Kojima,
Fetus.
Norman Fetus.
Norman Fetus, yeah.
Norman Fetus, Kojima, and Guillermo del Toro. I think it was during a BAFTA Awards, met up backstage just to like congratulate each other or something.
And kiss.
It might not have even been BAFTA, but apparently they were all in the same room and none of their translators were there. I think Kojima speaks decent English in person.
I think he can understand more than he.
He understands more than he lets on. Yeah.
But either way, like all three of them were just speaking different languages, congratulating
Just
each other,
doing
and
this.
high five, like laughing and shaking hands.
Do you reckon they've got a
Even
group,
if that didn't happen, I like the image of it.
do you reckon they've got a group chat?
A WhatsApp group.
A WhatsApp
they're in
group
a
with all
Discord.
No. But like, I imagine Norman Reedus is always in there, and he reads everything, but he never replies.
It's probably a Discord called Dirty Kojima and the Boys.
And Kojima only responds with selfies. He doesn't actually ever type anything. It's always a selfie.
Just
Only. Just picture of food.
Anything else from Sony?
No.
I mean, the PS5, I guess. Right?
Yeah, I guess so.
yeah.
PlayStation 5 is a big one. Obviously, weren't going to be here. I was hoping that a Bloodborne 2 would materialize, but sadly not.
Sorry.
Did you see that zoom? What an incredible zoom that
I
was.
just had
Don't know which one of you was responsible for that. I saw it from the corner of my
I
eye.
was taking a drink
And,
and it was just a quick crash through it. And then I could see it up there. It's so distracting. Hello.
It's Jake Decker 2 over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's one of those cases where I wonder if the Project Scarlet announcement did anything to light a fire under Sony's butts, or do they probably already have the year planned out?
Yeah, I think they're set.
I feel like
How much of an announcement was that, really?
Yeah. I don't know. You're the tech guy.
It wasn't really an announcement.
it wasn't. It was more of
A lot of loading times are going to be shorter. Or
an
non-existent.
affirmation of what they're doing rather than.
So the most
here's
interesting
exactly.
thing about it is the Project Scarlet name, right?
The name?
As in, like, they're not saying...
In terms of some identity for whatever it is?
Yeah, like, it's not... I mean,
It's not the nebulous next console, it is...
Yeah, it's the idea for their vision for the next generation, which is a family of devices that is kind of like bringing together a community of Xbox gamers.
Yeah.
So I think everyone went in looking for a unit to be shown,
An absolute unit.
and no one got... An absolute unit was not shown. So I think people... And, like, I think Sony has almost got the jump on them and announced the same things that Scarlett did. So, like, the Scarlett discussion was about hard drives and RAM, which Sony did, like, months ago, right?
Yeah.
So, it kind of, I think it's somehow Sony has stolen a bit of the thunder from Microsoft in advance, I reckon.
I mean, if you want to call it thunder. I don't know if either one is really that thunderous.
Yeah.
But at least what PlayStation did do was give, when they were talking to Wired, a demonstration of things, right?
Yeah.
And they were able to relay that information to us. So it was almost like the experience is something that we were able to get some insight into. We don't have any insight into whatever Scarlet is and how...
See, this is a trend that I really dislike. I'm going to get a bit upset on stage, but, like, don't talk about tech and numbers and stuff without showing some sort of example of a game.
They had really
what it means.
fine
Yeah.
zooms on those micro processors.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we can do this in 8K and it can run at 120 frames per
But what
second.
kind of game is that?
What is
The
that?
hell's it
Well,
doing?
what does that exist as? Like,
Teraflop.
show at least Sony did the Spider-Man thing to help
Yeah.
people visualize what that means and see it, and they kind of released that video later on, or not officially, but it got out there perhaps.
Oh, with the puddles.
Huh?
Is that the puddle thing, or was that just the initial Spider-Man?
No, the Spider-Man swinging thing
Spider-Man.
where it rendered the city fast. Microsoft just said it runs in 8K and has 120 and can do 120 frames per second, and that was it.
And there's no loading times, or they're almost non-existent.
Yeah, that's
Don't need 'em.
nonsense. Like, to most people, that's nonsense. Like, I think
You played Bloodborne?
have I played Bloodborne?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those loading times sucked when it first came out.
It did, yeah.
Oh,
Imagine if that was on Scarlet.
No loads. I mean, let's get back to the topic at hand. Was games missing from E3 Tam? You mentioned I mean, Bloodborne 2 hasn't been announced, so...
It doesn't exist in any physical form here, which is disappointing. Like, I mean... And we got Elden Ring, but I'm still kind of holding out for a true sequel to Bloodborne. I know Mike's would probably want that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe... It made sense for it to happen, but now that we know that Elden Ring is a Miyazaki game, there doesn't seem like there's a natural timeline where he would have been able to work on it, which is a shame.
Well,
I mean, I was surprised that he's moved on to Elden Ring so
yeah.
seemingly so quickly. It's like Nomura. He just seemingly never has a holiday.
Yeah.
Well,
Dip in between projects.
you think there's a possibility that they have... Elden Ring is earlier in development than a Bloodborne 2. They just announced Elden Ring because Game of Thrones is still...
Yeah.
Oh,
sort of
yeah, that's a
relevant.
good shout.
Maybe that is.
Because
the case.
I do feel like they had Dark Souls and Bloodborne, and then they announced Sekiro. They close out Dark Souls. They have Bloodborne, Sekiro. They announce Elden Ring. Bloodborne 2 is the logical next step, I would say, if then that weird leap.
I mean, like, Bloodborne, the first game, was like early in the PS4's launch cycle, right?
2015,
Yeah, so maybe it's a case of like, once the PlayStation 5 has been established, that's when they come out and they say, yes, we're actually working on this game. There's going to be a Bloodborne 2, and, you know, it will be out XYZ window on the PlayStation 5. In which case, that's fine. I would have liked to have seen some sort of signs of life from that game. But, you know, Elden Ring is a good consolation prize. Yeah.
Other games missing, Need for Speed. They announced it, and they were like, yeah, there's a Need for Speed coming in 2019, and then they...
All right, cool, bye.
EA's had a very interesting year, I'd say.
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to bring up Anthem. It was
It
here.
is missing from E3,
It is
technically.
Yeah, that's the
technically... I mean, it had a 30-second...
reminder that
Reminder.
A, the game is just B, the Cataclysm event is
Yeah.
in test server,
Yeah.
which people already don't like, especially people who've grinded a lot.
Yeah.
I
I get it. It's the opposite of what Bethesda did with 76. Todd came on stage to talk about it, and I mean, obviously that was a lot longer after the release. Yeah. It was a year after 76. This is only 3.5 months after Anthem.
Right.
But with some other games coming up here, like Destiny was up here, Warframe was up here, all these ongoing games.
Yeah.
Where was Overwatch?
It's weird that Anthem wasn't here.
Where was Overwatch? That was missing from E3. We could have done...
Have a word. Peter? Have a word with Randy next year.
Oh, no problem.
Overwatch.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's going to be the Overwatch
on the
Power
stage.
Hour. No, but yeah, I mean, like, the Need for Speed thing was really weird to me, because in previous years they have, like, they've always brought it, shown it off. It's usually looked pretty good.
Yeah, I kind of
shout about it.
I don't know what state the Need for Speed franchise is in right now, because they had, like, the last few have been a bit rough, right?
The last game was bad.
Yeah.
It was really
That
bad.
was one of the live action cutscenes,
Need
right?
for Speed.
Yeah.
Need for Speed Rivals?
I think
No, I think there's one just called Need for Speed.
they need to go back to Underground. Bring back Underground.
Seriously, it really did peak at that time.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, Hopper's Suit was really good as well, but like the Underground stuff was the graduation from all of that, and it became something fun and lighthearted. And now it's always trying to be serious again. And Need for Speed, it doesn't work as a serious game.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be EA's Forza.
Right.
Or Gran Turismo.
It doesn't even. Yeah. It doesn't.
But I mean, like, not in terms of
simulation stuff.
in terms of tone.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need to be Fast and Furious either. Like,
Yes,
they
it
keep
does.
trying to do that. I mean, that's not what Underground was, right? Underground wasn't Fast and Furious. It was like a ridiculous other kind of...
Yeah, it was a graduated form of that.
Yeah. So, like, they need to go... I think they need to go back to that, and people will be excited about it again. But I don't have a large degree of faith that they will be able to capture some sort of unique tone to it again. I might have missed that kind of opportunity now.
Racing games as a whole, like, there's only a couple that can really survive and exist in the mainstream. Burnout was super popular, right? And there's been sort of like revivals from the team that, or at least the lead creative behind the Burnout series at his new company, Three Fields Entertainment.
Yeah.
And those games are just not good. Like, I feel like the racing landscape has changed so much that there might not be room for this many different racing games.
Who would have thought that the predominant racing game genre would be kart races in this day and age, right?
Yeah.
The strongest racing games are usually car races now.
I don't know. I mean, that's underselling the Forza series quite a bit. Which is
Forza.
Like, Horizon's great.
I guess.
With Lego.
Another game.
Second in a long, not a long line, second in a line of weird DLCs. Cool, but weird. Hot Wheels from Forza Horizon 3.
Yeah. I was going to say, so other games that were missing from E3, My Best Girl, Bayonetta 3.
She's not here.
Yeah.
One of the creatives was at E3 saying, like, we're working on the game. The reason it's not here is because we're working on the game. It's progressing. We're going all out on it. I mean, he's always going to say that, but at least there was something said to be like, no, it's still happening. So
yeah, for sure.
Not that it wouldn't, but, you know, to hear something is good.
What else is Platinum doing right now?
Astral
Chain. We had them on today, right?
Yeah.
They're working at Babylon's Fall.
Oh, the Square Enix. Yeah. Was that at the Square Enix press conference this year?
No, it wasn't
this year.
this
Doesn't
exist.
Another game missing.
Another game
missing.
not here at E3.
X-Files. Where is it? Yeah, Astral Chain looks good. It looks like one of the crazier games. So it's the guy who was one of the key creators on Nier Automata doing his own project.
Yeah.
And it does look really, really interesting. But yeah, Bayonetta is definitely missing.
Because how long ago did they announce that now? 2 years ago?
Last
year, yeah. So last year. But like that's gonna be around soon. Like that'll get its own Nintendo Direct, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it's one of those games that is like giving a more intimate look at it is what the fans want.
Yeah.
So they'll do that for sure.
Anything else Square Enix?
Allow me to check the
sadly, there hasn't
list
been any new Legacy of Kain games.
Oh, yeah.
I brought that up in the pre-show. I was like, Tam, if he were here, would be asking about.
There's no Soul Reaver.
No.
Been announced in many, many years. Square Enix continuing to waste their time with other games that aren't Legacy of Kain.
Final Fantasy.
Absolutely.
Wasn't there that game in the universe a couple years ago that was
Nosgoth? Yeah.
God, Nosgoth.
It actually was
okay.
It was okay. Yeah.
But they shut it down fairly quickly.
Yeah, that was at a time when people had like a lot less patience for games that weren't immediately doing well. Like it started off in a promising way, and then they started improving it, and then that kind of like patience ran out, and they just shut it down.
Yeah.
And it did have quite a few good like links back to the main Legacy of Kain series, like Raziel's clan were in there, if I remember correctly, and it was really, really interesting. It was a multiplayer game, so not exactly what you want, but I think like there's a lot of like there's a lot that can be done with the Legacy of Kain franchise. It's so rich in lore, and like if I had a dream pairing, like give that to From Software, and my God, like the combat is already very similar to the way Dark Souls is, kind of that lock-on style strafing combat, and like world building and creation and temporal phase shifting, and oh my God, From Software making a Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver sequel. It would kill me on sight.
I feel the heat radiating off your body right now.
Just really quick to go off the topic of the panel, my dream marriage probably would have been Larian and Baldur's Gate 3, so that's pretty crazy that's happening.
Yeah.
I'm happy former reviews editor Kevin Van Ord gets to write Baldur's Gate 3. That's
wild.
That's wild.
Yeah. But anyway, sorry, that's a game I was happy to see here.
Yeah.
What else?
Ubisoft? So Ubisoft had a couple of key games missing, like Skull and Bones.
Yeah, Skull and Bones is weird. So like Dave, I know played it last year when like Sea of Thieves and Skull and Bones were the pirate games. Well, obviously Sea of Thieves is coming out soon. But we talked about that in the pre-show. We're like, do you think I think they kind of said they weren't going to show it, but also what's going on with it? That's Ubisoft Singapore.
Yeah. Last we heard about it, they were expanding some of the content. So I think they might have like the thing everyone's reading into it is like the ship-to-ship combat probably wasn't enough. And they're like building some sort of more meaty campaign around it.
Yeah, well, I mean, like
that's not confirmed.
I don't know. So many also since they announced it, they've gotten the Division has improved so much, and those games as service have done so many new things since Skull and Bones was announced. I wonder if they said maybe rather than launch this and then build on it, we could kind of finesse it for a while.
Rob Handlery. Look, maybe they're watching to see what Sea of Thieves is, or what Microsoft's going to do for Sea of Thieves over time, right?
They're coming back. Sea of Thieves, like it's not like I don't think it's a marvelous game, but like
it's no Warframe.
It presents great potential. It presents really great potential, right? It just needs material to sort of eke that potential out.
We got like 2 million players in the last 3 months, I think, something nuts like
Sea
that.
of Thieves?
Yeah, they came on the stage last night, Joe and Mike, and we're just talking amongst each other for about an hour. It was awesome.
You didn't need to be here.
And I know like Ninja, I think, or Shroud, one of them started streaming it in January, and they were #1 on Twitch for like 3 months in a row, which is huge, especially over like League and everything.
Yeah.
But outside of, Skull and Bones is such a weird entity because before Black Flag came out, everybody's like, I would love the naval combat of Assassin's Creed 3 to get into its own game. But Assassin's Creed 4 had so many things. It was an Assassin's Creed game, so it had a formula that they could put that into. Skull and Bones, sort of an unknown quantity in terms of its overall structure. I'm just really curious about what it's going to be.
Beyond Good and Evil 2. We talked about this in the Ubisoft pre-show.
That game continues to be a myth, innit? Like, just doesn't exist.
What I do when I think about Beyond Good and Evil 2.
I'm really happy for everybody who's excited for that and who's excited that I got it announced. And I don't get what that game is. I don't like what I'm
the messaging behind that game is baffling, and like it feels like someone needs to step in and just say, "Is this a game you're making or not?"
I think the real question is,
the cynic in me says that it was a different project.
Yeah.
The Vivendi stuff happened, and they slapped Beyond Good and Evil on it.
Yeah, that was the kind of
can't be a Prince of Persia, can't be an XYZ. Let's just make it a Beyond Good and Evil.
And like the whole like. You can make content, and then it's going to be in the game. It's like, no, you make the content.
I mean, you have to wonder, like, okay, is that, like, what they're leading with, or is that just a thing that they're saying is also an addition to? That could just maybe be scrapped if it's not working out.
But, I mean, like, so, again, I mean, we talked about this in the pre-show, but Mike was raising concerns about how people, and obviously there was that huge uproar about how people would be credited and
or not credited,
or not credited,
or
and
not
actually
paid.
Get money back for it. Because if you think about the way that Dreams does it, they have a really deep system of if you make one thing and it's used in someone's level, someone's dream, you are credited. If someone then takes that dream and remixes it, and it goes up that chain, you are always still credited as being the person who made that one particular thing. But then at the same time, you are still making it for free. You're not getting reimbursed for your time or anything. But I mean, some people want that, just to create and put it out there. But it's I don't know what Beyond Good and Evil 2 is. I don't understand how it's connected at all.
Yeah.
I mean, they said that it was a Did they say there was a prequel and then Jade was in it for some
They said
reason?
a lot of things that made no sense to me. And then when I was about to ask a question, they were like, check out the artwork we've got. And I was like, actually, I'd like to know. But they were like, no, check out the artwork we got.
And, and like, you put that swearing, irritating monkey in it.
Like a weird tonal establishment.
Yeah, I didn't really get any of
Because you
it.
think about how Beyond Good and Evil, the original game, was so wholesome and just, you know.
It was also
like
20 years ago.
Yeah, it was like a Disney wholesome. There's all those
Yeah,
adult
it was
jokes pushed under there.
Ubisoft also missing Splinter Cell.
Oh.
Yeah, well, yeah. Clint
Yeah.
Hawking was on stage, but not for Splinter Cell.
Not for Splinter Cell.
It's
I mean,
weird
like,
how silent they are about that franchise.
yeah, it's like,
They know we want it. They just tease us left
just,
and right.
yeah, and like
Don't worry, he's
they
in
did
a
that.
mobile game.
They did that
Yeah.
weird tweet
That game
where
actually looks
they talked about a bunch of developers being in the same place working on a Splinter Cell.
Right.
Oh,
And
so
then we're like,
Julian-
oh,
Julian
don't retweet
Garrity's, go
this.
do it,
I
go
get
do
in
it.
I guess if
trouble.
anything, they did announce backwards compatibility this week, right?
Yeah, which
For
is,
those games.
yeah, for a lot. I mean, like, yeah.
That's valuable.
That's valuable, I guess, and it does. Maybe they're watching, like, to see how many people actually take them up on backwards compatibility for Splinter Cell. And
It's probably in development. I mean, it's in development, right?
yeah, it's got to be in development, but I mean, how long can you go before people are just like, fine, whatever, leave it?
Yeah,
Like-
don't care about it anymore.
Yeah,
I mean, any of you play Blacklist 2013?
yeah.
That game was great.
I mean, all the Splinter Cells are good, and like this, it's such a fertile ground now with so few blockbuster stealth games. But yeah, I think we're about due a Splinter Cell. I just hope it's soon that we get to see something about it. And like weird-looking Sam Fisher in a weird mobile game is not enough.
No.
We do have like a minute left, unfortunately.
Half-Life 3, where is it?
Metro Prime
No,
4.
no, Rocksteady.
All right. Bear with me.
Rocksteady.
I know this. You're gonna give me shit, but I'm serious. I was kind of hoping Jake Solomon would have showed up and said XCOM 3.
Oh, God.
That's coming. It's gonna be
Yeah,
here.
it's
Especially
coming.
now that Civ 6 has such strong expansions. The other side of Firaxis must be like ready
It's a
to get it
successful
out there.
series. Of course, it's going to get a sequel. You know.
No, I'm not trying to sound intelligent. I'm just saying, like, I wish it was like kind of a tease here. Assassin's Creed, I would have liked to have seen even like a tease.
You
quick.
got that cutesy new one.
You got the Dark Crystal
Gods and
Tactics
Monsters.
game. What do you want?
What?
I got-
Rocksteady.
I got
Where are
Soft's
Rocksteady?
Elite Squad. Oh yeah.
What are Rocksteady doing? They're
what's
making
the
a game.
rumor? It's Harry Potter.
No,
No, that's not
that
Rocksteady.
leaked.
Oh, that's WB
But I don't
Montreal.
think that. I don't think that's Rocksteady. I think Rocksteady are going to be keeping with Batman, DC.
They said it wasn't Superman.
There's been rumors about a Damian Wayne game. There's been
Damian
rumors
Wayne.
about Suicide Squad.
Suicide
There's
Squad.
been rumors about Birds of Prey,
Yep.
Superman.
Superman.
I mean, pick your DC poison.
A
They will
huge
be.
shout out to Sefton Hill though for tweeting the exact same thing he tweeted last year
Yeah, just
about
changed 2018
changed like
to 2019.
he won the two words. I was like, no, we're not going to be here.
Get it
And
copied,
every
just
year
notepad.
copy and pastes that. That's a huge Russell.
Because he did
from
it
him.
Game Awards.
Yeah, he
did
does it every time.
He did it E3.
And like people are genuinely upset that Rocksteady, like angry about it. There's videos about it online, like where are Rocksteady?
Good for them that they have all this time to make a game.
YouTube.com/TamorH.
Yeah.
Kind of
look
like
on my
refreshing
YouTube
in a way that they
channel.
have all this time to make whatever they're making.
I mean, after
Hopefully, that's good news.
I mean, if
What-
you
what
make
if-
that Arkham series, like surely Warner Brothers is like,
Yeah.
take as much time as you want.
Because,
I don't know.
Arkham
Shadow of War was.
I mean, like Shadow of War didn't perform like the Batman series did.
Arkham Knight just came to Game Pass, right?
Yeah, Arkham Knight is on underrated game.
Arkham Knight is
Arkham Knight is
fantastic.
great. It had some drama with the PC version, but Arkham Knight is a fantastic game.
Yeah.
I think it's got one of the best stories in the series.
City, still the best.
City,
No, Asylum is the best one.
City,
No.
Asylum,
All right,
No.
we're actually out of
Arkham
time.
Knight,
Literally
Blackgate.
out of time. We
And
are
then
going to
the
have some of our
2D
friends from other sites.
Batman
Shut up.
game.
We're going to have friends from other sites on stage. We got Greg Miller, we have Mary Kish, we have Brandon Jones coming on stage in a mere matter of minutes. Stick around. We'll see you then. This is the last thing of the show, so don't go anywhere. Bye. Hello, everyone. It's the last segment of E3 at GameSpot. Woo! The most energy I've had all week. Welcome to the GameSpot stage. We are joined by some friends. Lucy James, as always.
Hello.
We got Mary Kish, former GameSpotter, Twitch's own now. Got Brandon Jones from Easy Allies. And Greg Miller from Kinda Funny.
Okay.
Subscribe.
No.
And let me tell you the virtues of subscribing to youtube.com/kindafunnygames.
shill I've ever
Every
seen.
day we got Kinda Funny Games daily. It's fantastic.
You got a shirt on already.
That's right.
Pride.
This shirt that you can get at your kindafunny.com/store right now.
God.
Is it on discount? I don't know. I doubt it.
I think he's done, so I'm going to move on. We are here to rank some of the best E3 2019 trailers.
Because I bought these on Amazon and I'm going to expense it and I need a reason.
We have to
Okay,
justify the expense, so we have some marker boards. We told Mary not to write anything too vulgar, but let's see what happens. What are some, we have a list of trailers queued up, so if you go off topic, it'll probably just annoy Jean-Luc. He'll figure it out. I'm going to start. Mine was Deathloop.
Yes!
Yeah,
Probably,
man. Yeah.
Did we just end the panel? That's
All right,
it. Deathloop.
everybody,
That's the
that's
best trailer.
E3.
Lock
Okay.
it in.
Deathloop. I was hoping for something from Arcane. This was an awesome announcement. Not at all what I expected, which is super cool. Arcade Leon, obviously, with Dinga Bakaba, who, incidentally, the creative director, does like parkour, like legit. Before the Bethesda conference started, Harvey Smith was tweeting out videos of him doing like side flips and shit while they were doing sound tests. Anyway, Deathloop looks super cool. The people who made Dishonored, Prey, if you want to go back farther, Arx Fatalis, Dark Messiah of Might and Magic. This game looks super
Wikipedia.
cool. I know Arcane. We've done we talked about it. They weren't super clear on exactly how the game's going to work, but they did some cool things with Prey Moon Crash, so I imagine that would kind of transfer over into Deathloop.
Yep.
Characters resurrecting and whatnot, Groundhog Day style thing.
What do you think when you think of the gameplay? What are you thinking? They've said first person. This first person
Yeah.
shooter is in the press release. My pitch is right that since it's these two assassins, one played by Dave Fennoy from DaveFennoy.com, going after each other, trying to kill each other. My assumption is we switch off as we go, and like you're on these missions to kill the other person. You kill the other person, then you wake up as the person you just killed and do it all over
If
again.
that's not it,
Yeah.
that sounds super cool. Because when I first saw the two characters, I was thinking Dishonored 2, you pick Emily or Corvo.
Yeah.
But that sounds way cooler. But I do think it's time for, like, Arcane can clearly make immersive sims. Probably no one else around today that's making them as well. They've proven that. I'd like to see them do something cool like you just mentioned. Either way, this trailer was also just really
Trailer's
good.
just dope, yeah.
Yeah, it's so good.
And just lots of great stylistic stuff that I didn't see a lot of trailers do. A lot of trailers just straight gameplay, and there's really fun transitions. And it's weird because it's like super sci-fi desolate, but almost kind of has like a spy 50s vibe.
It's got that
Yeah.
pulp, right? It seems like
Yeah.
a pulp adventure, like
Almost like a 70s, those chromatic
grindhouse,
aberration.
right?
kinda
We're seeing
thing.
a lot of things right now that are taking place in the future, so it's really cool to have something stylized 70s, maybe even
Yeah.
60s-ish style.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
because when they started off, it looked like, you know, the cutscenes in Dishonored 2, the kind of cartoony looking, just, you know, two images slowly fading over each other. It started off looking like that, and then it went into that, which is now no longer on screen. But you know what I'm getting at,
Right.
which is really cool, and I just think it was subverted what I thought it would be.
yeah, because Arcane's done steampunkish, whale, blubber, money, whatever Arcane was. Dishonored was. Prey, sci-fi, Arx Fatalis, more like and Dark Messiah were all medieval kind of fantastical stuff, and this is just weird, and I like it. You know what we could probably do, actually, that'd be easier? We could rate them.
Like out of
Figure
10?
it out. I'll
Rate-
keep
yeah,
track.
okay.
Yeah.
I thought that's
Yeah,
what
I'll keep track of the scores as we go.
Okay.
I got my
You're
calculator.
going to do the math
I
in your
meant
head, and then you're going to retain all those numbers?
The math is going to be
scale.
Yeah, what's the
math?
scale? What's the
100-point scale. What do we?
out of 5.
Out of 5.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's
Didn't
easier
see
to
that
work
coming.
with.
Okay.
That's
Didn't see
easier
that
to
one
work
coming.
I
with.
was like,
Yeah.
you could use the GameSpot scale.
Yeah, well, no, sorry, yeah, we are on a GameSpot stage. Let's do out of 10.
Out of 10.
No halves.
Oh, whoa.
Okay.
No halves.
Full,
halves.
full numbers.
Whole numbers.
Whole
Yeah.
numbers.
Whole numbers on it, okay.
What did he say?
When do we
Oh,
reveal?
Jean-Luc's going to keep track. Awesome.
Oh, awesome. Okay, do you want to...
Yeah, I'm going to write one down. When I say flip them,
Don't cheat, Luce.
all right, flip them. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like 8,
Oh.
7.5 average.
8 and 9.
8,
Who would have
5.
thought the two smartest people on the panel
It's
live
not-
together?
no.
You know what I'm
Hell
saying?
Yeah, we colluded
Their
on this.
opinions, Greg.
Yeah. No, we're the right ones.
All
though.
right.
You know what I mean?
Jean-Luc, you got that. 3 8s and 2 9s. All right, what's the next trailer we're going to do?
So
Let's-
I did expense the whiteboards, and I brought the pens.
Did you expense the erasers?
No, I
Because
did
don't
not,
see
Mary.
them.
No, I
Inside
did
of your
not.
shirt,
You
like
have
thumbs. All right,
Not
next
all of us have
trailer.
shirts they can just throw away at the end of this.
I'm going to pull up my
on
list
there.
just in case, but we do have the Breath of the Wild sequel trailer ready to rock, which was a huge surprise.
Yeah.
For me.
Are we rating based on the game or on the trailer?
It's
Specifically.
an unscientific process.
Yeah.
Trailer specifically.
Specifically.
That's a good point. That's a very good
That's
point.
it.
I didn't think about that. You should host. Yeah, based on the trailer.
Have you ever thought about hosting a GameSpot, Mary?
Why'd you fucking
This place
leave?
is really, it's really leveled
I don't
out
have
since
it.
I left.
All right, yeah. We'll bring the trailer up. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel. I think it confused a lot of people because it's got all this Twilight Princess-y music and kind of
dark.
those effects, but then it zooms out and shows what looks like Hyrule from Breath of the Wild. Anywho, they then said Breath of the Wild sequel coming, so then it just blew everybody's nips off. It was great. It was an awesome turn at the end of their direct, which was already pretty solid because they're not on the cusp of that console generation switch, so they're like, let's just go all in on games. Oh, also, let's announce a sequel to, I think is arguably one of the best games ever made. I don't know, what do you guys think about this before we rate it? Brandon.
I think it's one of those things where, to me, it's the excitement of the game. It's the excitement for the potential of what it could be. The actual structure of the trailers, all right.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's tough. Well, it's kind of also like Deathloop. Like, one of my major criticisms of that would be, I wish I knew a little bit more. I wish I not know more, but I wish there were clues that I could kind of discern what's going on.
Yeah.
I think this is intentionally obtuse, but then, for me it drops.
This one, I mean, it gives off the vibe, right, that their Majora's masking it.
Yeah.
Like, right, like it's going to be the world you already know, but with this dark evil in it, new gameplay, new reasons to go through.
I don't know, man. Hyrule Castle's taken off into space.
So that's
what I say.
saw.
We're going to be on the moon.
Wow.
We're going to be on the moon as it
crossover with
crashes
Super
down.
That's what I'm saying. Was
Yeah.
it definitely going
Yes.
up, or was it? Because it was rumbling. But I don't know if they showed going up. What if it's sinking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Termina
The
was
Sinking
underground.
City,
Yeah.
another time.
Yeah.
Lots of
Yeah.
crossovers.
Which,
Right.
as we all know,
Also, it's
is
worth
a
noting that
plus.
this is probably much farther from being done than Death.
Oh, yes.
Right.
It definitely is. All right.
Okay, we ranking.
Yeah,
Wasn't
let's rate the
Majora's
trailer.
Mask your favorite Zelda?
It's my favorite game ever made.
Well,
Wow.
Warframe was your favorite game ever.
Somebody's numbers are going to be a little partial.
Yeah. We'll see.
I'm biased. Oh, you want to do objective scores? Okay. All right. Everybody ready?
Yeah.
Flip them.
Boom.
Ooh,
Look at that.
nice.
Oh,
Mike,
that's a
chill.
shot.
Yeah,
That's a shot
yeah.
fired at you. That's not
That's
fair.
me. I think I'm with Brandon. I think it could have been.
Swine.
All right. I'm with Brandon. It was an awesome trailer.
It was a swerve. No one saw it coming.
I liked the announcement more than the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so I was
What a
factoring
weird-
in. I was kind of. Are we not supposed to factor in sort of people's excitement?
Oh yeah, yeah. Factor that
How
in.
much people exploded? Because that's why I went.
That was
if
not
I-
part of the
if I-
credentials.
high.
You
If I was
specifically said
factoring that
trailer.
in. Oh no, if we were factoring that in, that would all get 10s. I think for people's excitement.
You're changing the
Trailer.
rules.
Trailer.
Okay, trailer.
Trailer.
I still thought it was good.
Jean-Luc 6,777
8.
8. Oh, I already erased it. I don't know why I was looking for an eraser. All right. Next trailer. If I had the list, I would pull it out. Control. The new E3 Control trailer. Which Control, it's odd because it's about a month and a half away from
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
playing it. Bringing up the trailer right now behind us. This game, this game is so easy to sell. Just watch it for like 5 minutes and
Yeah.
it's sold.
Hey, do you like weird crap? Here's a game that's all weird.
You like David Lynch?
Yeah, I do.
Thomas and Mikhail from the team came on stage to talk about it. They were saying their aim this year for E3 was to show more of the emotional narrative side.
Right.
Like I said, as soon as you see Control, and even the people who played it, they're like, yeah, I'm sold.
Yeah.
This feels awesome. It looks awesome. They were showing us more characters, kind of the flavor of the story. I liked it. I think it's kind of an unfair criticism for me, but because we've already seen so much of the gameplay that just looks awesome already, I think I just want to keep seeing that.
But it
was
was
cool that they went for more narrative thing.
But the thing about this trailer, though, short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
45 seconds,
Very
I think.
short.
Or 35.
Yeah.
This
Well, you're to the point that you have to stop showing things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to sell people on the game, but you can't
Yeah.
really push it. I don't think.
Yeah.
You think there's going to be like serious spoilers going on in the story? So they're just
I
like,
hope so,
going to
right?
show you the janitor.
Would
at the
you be able to
beginning.
know it's a spoiler? Like, would you
I don't
even
know
know
what
what you're
I'm
looking
looking
at?
at.
You're going to be going back in time and bending shit. All right. Let's write them down. Here you go, Lucy. Control by Remedy. I don't know. I forget the exact release date. End of July, I believe. Yeah? Does anybody know here? Live audience? 27th? July 27th. June 27th.
August 27th.
Sound it out, everybody.
My third guess. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
August 27th, Control by Remedy.
Okay.
All right, flip them.
Oh, okay.
I continue.
He likes it, and then
You
he
are
brings it down.
lowballing me.
Yeah, no, I liked it.
You double-crossing swine.
I didn't,
Less
it
than a
didn't really
minute?
get-
No, not for a
flip
tree.
flop McCartney.
Yeah.
So I liked it, but at the same time, we are very close to the release. I think
Yeah.
even that trailer from last year told me everything I wanted to know about it. So this was just a nice little flavor piece, an accoutrement,
Yeah.
Laser
A moose-bouche.
and a mousse.
Lucy, I'm going to have you lead for a little bit while I pull up the list, but we can do
Cultured.
C-Punk Double Sev, as I've been calling it.
It's true, he
Cyberpunk
has been
Cyberpunk.
calling it that.
2077.
Finally saw it.
Hang on,
We're calling it
hang on.
C-Punk 27. Is that?
Well, I said C-Punk 77, and then Andy Cortez was like, no, C-Punk Double Sev.
Damn, that's good.
I know.
I do like that.
Got a really
C-Punk
nice ring
double
to it.
sev.
This
so,
was awesome.
hang on. Are we counting
Is it in the
with
trailer?
Keanu? He is in the trailer.
There you
He's
go.
in the trailer. But
I mean,
are we
I
counting?
knew he was, by the way. I was answering your question before you even.
No,
Yeah,
because I was
trailer.
counting the adorable bit at the end where he was like,
Trailer, just
take a look
trailer.
at this.
Just
No.
trailer.
No,
That's
that's
all-
not part of the
that's all-
trailer.
that's all
part of the
agreed.
Is that,
trailer.
did you just see it on the screen?
I don't know. It hasn't finished yet. This. What?
Well, let's agree that was awesome, yes. But let's
Yeah.
just judge from the trailer.
Okay. Well, shut up. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mike and I finally got to see the presentation
Oh,
today.
This is a
Um,
momentous occasion for me, by the way, and I'll
It's
tell you
great,
why in a
right?
second. Yeah. It was
I
great.
remember last E3 when they were showing like the eye scene and everyone was freaking out,
Eye,
and
Yeah.
now we're like
yeah.
coming back and they're showing so much more. It's so much. It's like so exciting to see people who saw just like literally
Yeah.
an eye, a very quick eye video, and now we're like seeing so much more of this game. Actually
right.
understanding where you are.
Everybody ready?
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flip them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. 8.
An A?
8.
Yeah,
huh?
what the what?
Get out of
Like,
here.
what did we have to do?
I don't know. I'm just.
Oh, sorry, Nathan Fillion didn't show up in the trailer.
Honestly, Nathan
Oh,
Fillion's
wow.
intense for me. No,
Really?
huge fan of Keanu, but we're talking about the trailer all together now, right?
Yeah, but
So-
then, Jackie gets done in and like
You want emotional resonance, right?
and we spent
consequence for
so
your
much of
actions.
last year like building him up as a character. Like he was one of the main focal points of the whole demo, which I figured out that I've now seen 4 times. I've seen
Wow.
that 40+ minute demo 4 times, and I was like, and for him to get shot and seemingly die,
It looks really good. I'm not saying it doesn't look good. I'm just saying.
an 8 is
Where I
still
come from,
good.
an 8 is garbage.
Now, yeah, I
Wow.
believe that the saying is 8 is great. Is that not the case?
8 is
Well, it
great.
rhymes,
People
so
say.
yeah, I guess sure.
9 is fantastic.
It's easy to remember.
10 is unmissable.
When
10 is tops.
10 is the best.
Oh, you talking about for GameSpot?
Yeah.
Essential.
Essential. Necessary, yeah.
So that's why I said it was a momentous occasion. Second 10 out of 10 of my life I've ever given.
Look at
They
that.
gave a
I think-
charge,
I mean,
a
that's based on
charge
the
4.
GameSpot review score where it's essential to have watched this.
I think this balances with last year's trailer really well too. Last year was like very much about the city, seeing like a slice of life just across
Yeah.
the board, and this like not only focusing on the character more, but we're meeting characters that we met last year
Yeah.
again, having
Yeah.
what made much more impact.
Here comes the
Or
gore.
it was. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Good scores all around. John Luke's probably got them by now. Let's move on to
scores.
another
I'm gonna
game.
watch him get his hands cut off.
Another game that actually has a real release date. Final
Wow.
Fantasy VII Remake.
Few and far between here
Yeah.
at E3
Whoa.
2019.
Another one that people have been waiting for a release date for quite some time
Yeah.
as well. Final Fantasy VII Remake. So, here's why I find myself at a crossroads. I've never really played Final Fantasy VII.
A man of taste.
I will say, the trailer I thought was good.
Yeah.
Thought it was a
Yeah.
good trailer.
It's a
On
good
its,
trailer.
in its own merit. It's just weird because it is a trailer for a remake of a game that people absolutely die for. It's showing Midgar. We know now that the first part of however many they're not saying. I saw
They don't know.
I know. They
Yeah,
told,
they
yeah.
don't.
Because they apparently don't know, they say.
This will end presumably. Okay, they did not say it'll end when you leave Midgar. They just did say that
No,
it
they
will
said
only.
it ended-
They did.
Midgar.
So it's Midgar, the city you might know from Final Fantasy VII. You got our boy Cloud here. Tifa was shown more.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I didn't write mine down.
Imagine the pressure of making a
You have the
trailer
pen.
for such a highly coveted, highly beloved
You
game.
have the pen, Michael.
And
Oh, yeah.
whether or not you show something or don't show something is going to like make or break
Yes, I do.
everybody. This was an intense moment.
But will fans ever know your name? Editor, random editor who cut this video?
Gary,
Yeah.
Yeah, Gary.
this one's for you.
Gary.
Pick those clips, Gary.
Gary.
Way to go,
Ooh.
Gary.
Ooh.
Gary.
All right, I'm getting that doc up. I'm not texting. I promise.
Yeah, you are.
I'm texting you, asking you what your score was.
Yo, what are you eating after this?
Yeah. All right. Everybody ready?
Yeah.
Flip those.
Boom. Man, you're savage.
No, I give it 10.
You give it 7.
Like I said, I get.
Hot Sephiroth.
I have to. You have to acknowledge that the Final Fantasy VII. I'm not knocking the nostalgia. I'm just saying, like, not having played it, it didn't do as much for me.
You didn't
For me,
think
it's
Sephiroth was
Still a
hot?
beautiful trailer, though.
Very good
It's just-
trailer.
Set up the game well.
It's just Midgar. Like, I'm not surprised we're still in this environment, but it's just
Look
like
at his hair physics and change that to an 8.
I can only take so many
Animal.
pipes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just more pipes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Steampunk's paradise.
What are you more excited for, incidentally? Cyberpunk or Final Fantasy VII Remake?
Cyberpunk.
Oh, Cyberpunk for
Cyberpunk.
me, yeah.
What about you?
Probably Cyberpunk. But
Yeah.
this trailer is really beautiful, and I gave
Yeah.
the higher score to... Look at the hair physics!
I
He
was
looks so
thinking
good.
that.
He looks like a dreamboat. And they show every character. They give him a nice zoom in. Sorry, I'm looking at this very cinematographic, like a cinematographer.
direct
This is
this
brilliantly made.
The thing, I mean, compare it to like the 3 versions of the same Kingdom Hearts trailer they released last year.
With no
Like,
sound effects.
One of which had no sound effects.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And then they've stepped up their game with this.
All right, we're
That's a
going.
great trailer.
We're going across the pond with this one.
Oh, governor!
Yep. What? Watch
How
Dogs Legion.
dare you?
Watch Dogs Legion at Ubisoft.
You can
press
only mean
conference.
Australia.
This game. We'll talk more about it once we score it.
In a post-Brexit world.
Which we were not allowed. No.
Yeah.
We're supposed to ask about on stage.
Really?
Yeah, she just talked about London a lot. Have you been there?
Once or twice.
Eh.
Okay.
Let's
Got the
talk about
trailer
it.
right here. Showing a lot of things, showing off how you can be any character.
Well, I keep thinking about the demo, and that's
Yeah, the
different from the
that's
trailer.
it.
exactly.
You have to
Yeah,
take
yeah,
the
yeah.
The demo is
demo
mind-blowing.
out.
I would
There it
honestly
is.
say
Okay.
Watch Dogs Legion is probably my game of the show. I love Cyberpunk. I saw it. I love it. But if they pull this off, they push.
Did you get to
past
watch
the
the demo?
Yes. If
Yeah.
they push past the ambition
when?
and get to. Oh, I thought you meant the demo during Ubisoft.
Oh no, I went and played
Oh,
it. I played it today.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to pick your brain about
What do you
that.
think about APCs?
Can you talk about that?
and the
I,
term?
no one told me
No
not
embargo.
to.
Okay,
I'll tell
cool.
you all about it.
Ubisoft's going to rappel down from the ceiling in a second. All right. Yeah, based on this trailer, flip them. Oh, sorry, you're not
Oh.
done.
No, yeah,
Wait,
I'm
wait,
still not there.
wait.
I'm not there. I'm not
I'm
there.
not ready.
there.
Okay, flip them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
4-7.
I'd go
Wow. Combo
yeah,
breaker.
you got one out.
I'd go
Combo
7.5.
breaker. I liked it.
Okay.
Not on
If it
this
was
scale.
if it was allowed, I'd go 7.5.
Fair
I
enough.
know it's
Back
not
down,
allowed.
Miller. Get your point halves out of the
Letting you
way.
know. Just letting you know.
All right.
Yeah. That's one of the promise of the
Again,
game.
that is probably my game of the show. Didn't even get to play it.
Awesome.
So I'm a big fan, really quick, of like State of Decay, when you can play as multiple people. It's a smaller scale. It looks like they're taking that idea, combining it with Watch Dogs, putting it in an all-right city. They're just making it super... It's ambitious as hell. And
Yeah.
I kind
they
of don't
pull
believe
off.
it,
I know.
but I kind of
that's
look
what I
for
kept
that
saying.
in like the hottest E3 games.
I was
where
saying
there's
that-
a little bit of like, no.
This is
no.
why it gets
Helen,
hate for me.
Helen.
Because
course.
hashtag Helen the Assassin.
Right.
Look at her.
I kept saying
Look at her slowly walking up in a very high traffic area with a pistol.
Desert Eagling that guy in the face.
No one
Every time I
suspects
saw it,
Helen.
whether it was a trailer or
Helen
a
gets
demo,
a 10.
Helen
Yeah.
gets
Trailer
10.
gets a 7.
I kept saying, what's the catch? What are you sacrificing
Of course.
in order to make all this happen? But
How many voice actors are in this game?
After playing it, I think
I want a number.
what you sacrifice, is, and I loved it too. I gave it one of the kind of funny awards.
I saw your face.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think what you're sacrificing is that visual fidelity / panache of the main character. You know how it always is, like if everybody's an NPC, everybody's face kind of looks like an NPC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm totally willing to
Dude,
sacrifice that.
going through it and having them show me the systems and then explain how this is, because it was like, I was like, but how are you doing this? Like, do you really want to know? And he's like, yeah, we just put the controller down. He explained the way the game in nanoseconds works. Where it's like you look at a person and you get their information and then you hold RB to scan them, and what that does is builds the initial profile.
Yeah.
Like while it's scanning them, it's like, oh, random generate all this stuff of where they're from, what they're doing, where they're going, what their day would be.
Like I said, seeing like what Undead Labs did with State of Decay, even pre-Microsoft funding when they bought them last year, was super impressive. And I personally get more attached to characters that I'm telling the story.
Yeah.
I think we all do.
That you're investing points in,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you're seeing grow.
Right.
And that was the thing about it. Like your team, your roster can be a max of 20
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And so as you go in there and you start giving them perks, because everybody gets 3 perks. There's like way more than 3 though. So you're going, and there's 3 different classes. Then you have 3 different perks assigned to it. So you can have a 20-person team that's all granny infiltrators, but they all have different perks, so they're all right for the right job.
All granny infiltrators, but it's permadeath. So if you fall in love with a
Yep.
character and you
Sick.
upgrade them and you use them for
Yeah.
all these different campaigns, and then they die.
Yeah.
You just
It's like a
lose them.
nursing home where they train assassins.
Exactly.
Dear God.
Really good trailer analysis, Greg. That was
Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. That I think, excluding what I heard from you, what I've seen in their gameplay, the trailer just felt like more Watch Dogs, and then you're like, oh, you can be anyone. So I get
That
it.
was great. Yeah.
And
Okay.
isn't it like very narration heavy?
Yeah.
that's
that
all
was
we
really
That was
good.
the real oi governors.
Are we
coming in
supposed to
there.
know who that
Concept.
voiceover was, or no?
I'm not sure who that was.
Okay. All right. Going back to Microsoft for
Van
this
Dyke.
one. 12
Is he still
minutes.
alive?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
12 minutes trailer.
Ah.
Groundhog's Day. A little bit. Oh, actually, speaking of, apparently the Shining Carpet made it into 12 minutes trailer.
He did.
Ah.
I didn't see it.
Dr.
We got it
Sleep
right
trailer
here.
out this morning too. More Shining
So for those,
content.
well, you can watch the trailer, but for those who don't know, it's
12
basically setting up. It's this couple talking at their table in the kitchen, and this Quentin Tarantino upward, downward look at the room right here, and you see the couple talking. He's like, "You got me a present. I know." He knew what it was inside. She's like,
My
"What are you
man
doing?"
sounding like Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah, there's someone about to knock on the door. Don't trust him. Don't go with him.
Yeah.
Apparently, you're doing like a Groundhog's Day thing, and from
Yeah.
what I understand, you're essentially trying to escape a life or
Like
death
a
scenario.
Thriller noir set in about a man in time loop,
Yes.
which just sounds incredible.
Time loops are so in this year.
E3 2019, the year of
It's just
time
got such a different look than any game I've seen in such a long time. It's top-down, story-driven. Like,
Yeah.
when have you
Yeah.
seen something like that? So it's extremely unique. It's extremely interesting, narrative-driven. You know they're going to take a lot of time and care with it because I've seen that this has been in development for years.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to seeing this, and this like piqued my interest.
And
Also-
it's Annapurna, so I'm
I
day
was just
one.
going to say, also, side note, as a publisher, Annapurna has been killing it. In the
There
last
ain't
find the
nothing
weird
that,
movies and games. Yeah.
that
All
I
right.
don't love.
Everybody scored 12 minutes?
Yeah.
Ready? Flip them.
Ooh.
Yeah, good trailer.
Yeah, great
Yeah.
trailer.
Good trailer.
Great
We're all
trailer.
on board.
3 nines, 2 8s.
Yeah. It's also, this was PC gaming show? This?
Xbox.
Xbox.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
Xbox.
Yeah.
It was kind of, they did this, and then they did that montage, I believe, of a bunch of games, and then said, like,
What idea Xbox stuff? Or just a
no, I think it was just, like, games that we already know is
Oh,
coming.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I think Ori got its own thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we got a release window.
Sorry,
Date.
I'm
John Luke,
Date.
remind me how much time we have in my ear, but yes.
Yeah. Good drama. Nice
but we
build.
might have.
You really
Say
feel
that
the
again?
end of this trailer.
Okay, cool.
Our producer's telling us.
Sorry,
4 minutes.
before the show, they told me I was supposed to end 10 minutes early, but now my director is telling me we're ending.
Go 10
Yeah,
minutes
okay.
and 80 seconds.
We'll figure it out. Someone will come out and stop us. I got another one. I hope he has this ready. He might not. Who knows?
I'm ready for one trailer specifically. Come on.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
What about Halo Infinite? Wait, hold on. What do you want to do?
Banjo, man. Come on.
Okay, we're gonna do
Banjo
Banjo.
and Smash.
We don't have that ready, but John
That-
Luke, I might.
I don't want to throw
Oh
off
my
this
God, that
B-roll.
Oh, no, no, it's
TD.
fine. No, no, fine.
Yeah.
You
All
guys
right,
gotta
Banjo.
throw
Banjo and
these
Smash.
things in advance.
A
Banjo and
little
Smash.
bit of a bait and switch, huh?
A debate.
Oh, yeah.
Bait and
100%.
switch.
It's been a lot of.
Ah.
Thanks.
A trailer making fun of another trailer in the same campaign? I love it.
Very,
Just,
very
you know what's
self-aware.
going to happen, but they're still just dangling the character in front of you.
Yeah, I love
Very
it. Again, I don't know if we'll get the B-roll in time, but
You all saw it. You know what
Banjo
happened.
and Smash, John Luke. Sorry, he doesn't have it ready. We'll explain it.
I've had
Real
had
quick.
that job before, so I know the
yeah, yeah.
scramble.
Explain
Sorry,
it
they can
really
do it.
quick.
He's like, dude, it's 4 minutes to
Well,
the
we
end
had-
of E3.
We had to reveal
I'm not
Kiss
searching for
my
this trailer.
ass.
with Donkey Kong and Diddy of King K. Rool. You know, it was
Yeah.
they thought it was him with the shadow, but then it turned out to be somebody else, and then King K. Rool comes
Hunt
in.
Dog.
They
Then
thought it was Duck
well,
Hunt
in
Dog.
the first trailer,
Yeah.
the King K. Rool trailer, I don't remember who was like, I'm not King K. Rool, and then they go
Oh,
back
oh,
and they're
sorry, my
like,
apologies.
remember that trailer? Are we going to do the same joke again? Yeah, we are. And it just the Smash trailers, when it actually gets into gameplay, every little bit, every like 3-second clip is so carefully constructed, and like there's all these little hidden jokes in there.
Yeah.
All right.
This is why I, for one, am glad Reggie's gone. He couldn't get this done, but Doug Bowser comes in. He's making deals left and right, all right?
This is all
I'm
you had
gonna
to do.
faint.
We're sold now.
Okay.
All right. Everybody ready for
Yeah.
Banjo in
Yeah.
Smash?
Yeah,
Flip them.
so good.
Yeah.
So
Really good.
I
2
gave it
8s,
an
2 9s.
8
Woo. 10.
because the Persona one destroyed me.
Sure.
Because I am more like I was there at the Game Awards and I think I shrieked. Whereas this was a very good,
Right.
great trailer, but
Right.
I didn't shriek.
But that's
We-
your
we
personal
all got our
bias.
characters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't care at all about Banjo. I think it was a great trailer to reveal him.
While
Yeah,
we're here.
it was good. Can we talk about Bam Bam?
Wait, hold
Oh,
on.
Bam Bam the
Really
dog?
in there?
Can we rate dogs that we saw at this show? Because, yeah, Bam Bam.
Bam
dogs
Bam.
Let's
were
rate that
high.
dog.
Who is it? Bam Bam. There's the dog in the Blair Witch. There's a few dogs
that was called
sniffing for
Bullet.
bombs out front.
Bullet the dog. in Blair
Oh, the
Witch.
dog in
Blair Witch
Ghostwire
was
that's
bullet.
alone.
Oh,
it's like
the
just
Cornish.
the
Or no, not a
Yeah.
Cornish.
Oh.
Oh, let's all rate Bam Bam now.
Oh, Ghostwire was the last one I had.
Oh, yeah,
We'll do that
Okay,
last.
yeah.
so we're all rating Bam Bam now.
Oh, well,
Put your numbers down.
yeah.
Oh, I
I'm
need the
not
pen,
gonna-
but
my favorite kind of dog,
Yeah.
too.
10.
Blue Nose Pitbull.
10.
Very
10.
cute.
10.
John Bernthal has a cute dog.
Bam
Let's do
Bam.
that. Let's
Bam
close
Bam.
out with Ghostwire, and then we'll see which wins.
Yeah.
So Ghostwire, sorry, Tokyo Ghostwire or
Ghostwire
Ghostwire
Tokyo.
Tokyo? We had this argument upstairs, and I think I was also wrong up there.
Tokyo.
Ghostwire Tokyo.
I'm so mad I'm not even going to bother to remember
Yeah.
the right answer.
Ghostwire Tokyo. Very surprising because I think most people thought Shinji Mikami was here for Evil Within 3, which would have been awesome. But here we have some sort of rapture happening in Tokyo, and people are just getting lifted into some other universe, and their clothes are left behind. Super creepy. There's a dude with a bow and arrow and like a hazmat hoodie.
Single-handedly, the best cut/transition of any trailer I think I've ever seen with
Yeah.
the noodles.
Yeah.
Disturbing.
With the noodles.
With the noodles.
Also, side note, I forget her name. The woman who everybody's fallen in love with this year.
Yep,
came
sure.
out
Oh,
and
yeah.
None of us are here to help you.
No, we
Yeah,
got
I'm
nothing on that
sorry.
one.
Spooky.
All right.
Thanks for
It's
calling us out.
spooky.
Great, thanks. Appreciate that. That's
I
nice.
was just trying to embarrass myself.
We're
Ghostwire
all, we're all
Tokyo.
terrible people.
Everybody ready?
Yeah.
Shall we?
Flip them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nine,
Oh,
all
the noodle
nines,
cut
110.
Noodle cut.
All nines,
I love the
except
notes.
110.
I love
Oh,
the
yeah,
clarification.
This is
Definitely,
Noodles.
like just like purely,
For the nudes.
purely,
I was going to say send nudes.
Yeah.
purely cinematic and atmospheric. This trailer's fantastic.
Yeah.
And all right,
Yeah, the only downside, right, was like, as she explained beforehand, but not getting a better taste of what gameplay was.
absolutely. It
Yeah.
was like what was the game we were talking about earlier?
Deathloop.
Deathloop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Same conference, too.
Yeah.
Spooky.
Bethesda just
All right.
teaching everybody.
Well, one.
Jean-Luc, if you know what one told us, but otherwise,
I think it was this trailer.
what was your
Somebody taking
okay?
adding up all the
All right, I got the answer. I'll reveal it in a second when we close out, but I want to hear everybody's game of show, regardless of trailer, whether you played it or not. What are you most excited for coming out of E3? If you're not ready, I can go to someone else.
Deathloop or Cyberpunk.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cyberpunk,
100%.
C-Punk Double Sev.
Yeah.
Greg?
Steampunk Double Sev.
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Okay.
Gears of War 5.
Oh, Rod came up to show that. It looks
Or the birds that I
escape mode
rode
looks
to the
awesome.
convention every day.
Oh, the scooters?
Yeah.
The escape mode looks really
I'm always
cool.
a Gears
Mine's
fan.
Watch Dogs Legion.
I'm so excited. I think it's going to be great.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
My game of the show was Watch Dogs Legion. According to these 5 super experts, the best trailer of E3 2019 was C-Punk Double Sev.
Yeah.
Oh, we got
Yeah.
an award for that.
And I wonder why. Is he here? I was hoping Keanu would be here.
Dude, a friend of mine, I just saw, he was like,
I saw
was
Mike
in the,
Tyson after
Oh, yeah,
my
we did.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
a friend of mine was in the hotel room next to Keanu Reeves and like bumped into him getting ice.
My
'Cause he
friend's in
gets
the same
ice.
hotel room as him. It's Keanu's my friend.
Oh, fuck.
No.
Why does that stop your heart, him getting ice?
Because he's perfect.
Yeah.
He just likes a cold beverage.
I know.
Okay.
All right.
I love him.
I've never seen you get ice.
Tried to
You've never
last
got me
time.
ice. The ice machine on the fridge is broken.
Okay,
Gregory.
first off, as the only person who fills the ice trays in the house, don't even start.
It's become a roommate quabble.
Yeah. This is how we air our
3 people in the
grievances.
building, Mike, are in our apartment. Guess how many people take out their cycling?
One.
It's you.
You.
It's heavy. There's a lot of it. It builds up.
Stop wasting so much.
If they would do it more frequently,
Right, right.
Jen and Lucy, it wouldn't build up. You know what? I
Yep.
digress.
All right, unfortunately, we're out of time, and E3 is kind of essentially over, especially for all intents and purposes here on the stage show. Mary, thank you so much for joining us, as always.
Thanks for
I'll
having
see
me.
you when we record the next episode of Knievel.
That's right.
Brandon Jones, it was nice to meet you in person for me, finally.
Trailers.
Good trailers.
Trailers are great.
Hype.
A good year of trailers, would you say, overall?
Good. Yeah. There was. I liked a lot of them. There really wasn't that one like really crazy standout. Like
Yeah.
Keanu's a great moment, but you know.
Yeah.
Solid, right? It was a
Yeah.
solid.
Solid
It was
solid,
year
yes.
for trailers.
I am pleased.
Yeah, and you can go see more of Brandon on Easy Allies if you don't already keep up with them. Greg Miller from Kind of Funny, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for
I
having me.
think, despite being on your show a few times, this is the first time you and I have been on stage together,
Exactly.
I think.
When I gotta go somewhere, I'm
Yeah.
like, Mike can do it. Bring
Yeah.
him in.
Yeah, Lucy,
Hi.
you'll probably see more of me.
Yeah, we work together.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, everybody, thank you. Whether you're in the live audience or at home, thank you so much for joining throughout the whole week. We had a lot of great interviews. You can go see those on youtube.com/GameSpot or on GameSpot.com. Probably have some on Facebook. I don't even have a Facebook anymore. But we were so glad you could join us all throughout this week. Lucy, it's done.
We did it.
Thanks, everyone, again. And thank you for watching. Go catch up on all the news. I'm going to
Yeah.
go sleep.